How's over Baz? I'm Jacob Casas. We'll be right back. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We just got monetized, so we appreciate everybody for watching and liking and subscribing. But we have a very special guest. I can't wait to introduce him. We'll be right back with you, Howlers.
Hold on, it's not recording on my end, so. So
we're still live the whole time. We're back live again.
Great.
So we're gonna.
I love it.
It's all cool. We're just gonna do this like this. So, how's over Baz? I'm Jacob Casas. We have a very special guest today. I can't not wait to introduce him. But don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be right back with you, Howlers. We'll be right back. Yeah, you already pumped it. Okay, he pumped it. Okay, here we go. So we have a very special guest today. I'm very excited that he's here. I'm surprised that we even got him on right now. We're a newer podcast, less than a year in, but we have a big heavy hitter from YouTube. We have Evan Carmichael with us right now. So I just wanted to introduce him, let him introduce himself to our audience, and let everybody know about who you are and what you're about.
Well, thanks for the love, Jacob. Why are you surprised?
Hey, I reached out and I was like, wow, he reached out right back, you know?
What happened? Because I don't remember the interaction, but what, you DM me or what happened?
Yeah, so I DM'd you through Instagram and you told me to hit up your assistant. So I had my assistant hit up your assistant and all of a sudden it was like you were booked. And I was like, whoa, that was quick. I was like very surprised. I mean, we get a lot of people that I asked to come on. You know, people ask for different things or, you know, but you just were on right away. And I was really excited about that because I watched your YouTube. I watched your YouTube literally like thinking, wow, this guy's stuff is really good. And I hit you up. I only hit people up, not for clout, for any of that. I hit people up that I actually like and want to bring on the show.
Cool. Well, I mean, I appreciate that, man. And, some people come on because they all they care about is the numbers, and that's fine. And like you keep leveling up your guests and leveling up your numbers, and you get bigger and bigger people on. And some people care. Like for me, it's just about the vibe. So I don't remember what the initial DM was, or like how long ago, or what you said, or whatever. But my team gets mad at me all the time for this because they're trying to book me on all this stuff, and then I say yes to other things, and like. Explain the logic here. Like, I don't know. I like it. It's great. So I usually see what the message is. I'll see if they're actually following me on Instagram back or not. You know, the people say I'm a big fan of the show, a big fan of your content, and then like they're not even following you. So like, you know, you can tell it's a spam. And then I'll just quickly look at whatever's on their feed and just see the vibe and if I like it or not. So anyway, there's something in your vibe that I said, okay, Jacob, let's go. And I use that as also, hopefully it's inspiring for other people because a lot of people sit on ideas and sit on outreach and they'll say, well, like, there's no way these people will say yes to me, right? Like, there's no way this person is going to say yes. And so they don't even try. Where you never know. Like, reach out and try. The worst thing isn't even a no. The worst thing is like they just don't even see it, which is going to be most of the case. They just don't even see it.
Yeah.
So anyway, kudos to you. I liked your vibe. I still like your vibe now, getting to meet you in person and looking forward to chopping it up.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I really do. Our podcast is, just to give you a little background, you know, it's Howls Over Baz. It's basically wolves over sheep, like the wolves howl, the sheep baa, you know. So wolves are basically leaders over followers. I'm a business owner. I started this by bringing other entrepreneurs in and basically networking with them. I had no idea what YouTube was about. We didn't even start on YouTube. We were just doing podcasts, just all vocals. That's it at the beginning. We started diving into more things. I realized that there's a lot of money in this, but I didn't know that at the beginning. I was doing this off of like networking, the vibe, you know, things like that when it comes to bringing other entrepreneurs on and talking about the whole journey of an entrepreneurship, but the real, not like, oh, I'm great. I made it. I'm rich. I'm this and that. No, it's basically trying to build yourself up as an entrepreneur and the actual hard stuff. I was giving them the real dirt of me barely almost like losing my business almost 3 different times. But your business is way different than businesses I've had in here. You are a heavy hitter on YouTube, and YouTube is not easy. I even the analytics trying to get in there and figure it out. I mean, I've been doing this, and I've been doing this a year now, almost on YouTube, almost a year. It is so difficult, and you are doing things on YouTube. You've built yourself, and I looked this up. There's only really 8% of all YouTubers actually making money on their YouTube, and that's pretty wild to me. So that says a lot about you, about who you are and what you do. And I want to ask, like, I want to get into that a lot more, but I want to get more into like where's your mindset? How is your mindset? Because to be able to do that, you got to have a different kind of mindset. You're a different kind of breed of a person.
Before I forget, because I'm going to forget, and I want to stay on this. Does the name Doug Brackman mean anything to you?
Doug, I know that name, but can you give me a little?
If not, you should look it up, write it down, and think Doug Brackman. I think it has 2 N's at the end. He wrote a book called Driven.
I'm gonna write it down.
And he's got a new book coming out where he talks about the wolf and the sheep.
Oh, really?
That was going to fit super well so I don't forget this. But one of my favorite analogies that he uses, because he sees entrepreneurs as the wolves, which is you, or like the hunters, and then the sheep is like most people. But he brings a lot of science to it. And one of my favorite examples is a lot of times people think of entrepreneurs and wolves as like a solo, like you're the lone wolf. But wolves are actually pack animals.
Yes.
Entrepreneurs actually crave to be with each other. Like we're actually pack animals.
And we're better.
We don't want to do this alone. We want to be with other people, but a certain select group. It's not everybody.
Yeah.
Where the sheep is everybody.
Yes, exactly.
But entrepreneurs, we want to stick with our pack. But like we tend to think in common culture, the entrepreneur has to be the solo person out there. Whereas like a wolf who's a lone wolf is not as successful as a pack wolf. And one of my favorite stories that he tells, and you should have him on and use my name as like we had Evan on, so you should come on and said, clip this and send it to Doug Brackman.
Yeah,
because I think you'll love going deep with him. He says when there's a threat to the sheep, like there's some predator comes in and attacks the sheep, what do the other sheep do? They scatter. Mm-hmm. There's some predator, all the sheep scatter. But a wolf pack, if you attack a wolf, all the other wolves are coming to help you.
Yeah.
We protect our own, where the sheep all scatter.
Yeah.
And so like this is the main problem for a lot of entrepreneurs is that we don't have our pack. Mm-hmm. We feel like we're by ourselves and we're fighting all these battles by ourselves, but you don't have to. Like you got to find your group. You got to find your pack, the people that you can trust and build with that have each other's back. Like entrepreneurs, and see if you relate to this or not, it's like you are loyal, you will fight for your friends, but if like somebody is disloyal to you, that they're out.
That's it. I'm the same way.
Loyalty
man.
is it.
Yeah.
And so it's because they're out of the pack. Like you can't be you can make mistakes, you can screw up, you can do all, but if you're disloyal, you're out.
A wrap. Yeah. That's
but
exactly
sheep
how
don't care. Sheep don't care about that stuff.
No.
Right? So like we're very protective over who we trust, and once you're in, you're in. And so but we end up defaulting to going by ourselves, where like you won't have the most success solo. You need to get into a pack of people who are running with you and will have your back when times get tough. So anyway, Doug Brackman, the name of the show just spawned that. You'll have a great conversation.
I appreciate
Let's
that.
talk YouTube.
well, I just want to say one more thing too, because that's the reality of why I started this. So meeting with entrepreneurs and understanding, you're an entrepreneur, so you feel alone all the time, and you can't even have even with women, dating, with all that stuff. It's hard to have conversations with people as an entrepreneur because everything goes over most people's heads. So when I was able to sit down and bring other business owners, like-minded individuals in that were going and thinking through the same stuff that I was, it felt like a release. Like, whoa! I mean, this guy, I can have a conversation with somebody that actually knows what I'm going through. And that's why this podcast, that's why I started it. So
like the worst question you ask an entrepreneur is like, so what do you do?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Right? We don't have a one word, I'm a dentist, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer. It's like, what do you mean, whatever? It's like the worst question. I don't know how to answer that.
I know, I know. But I want to ask you the mindset, your mindset, because I really do think your mindset's different than most entrepreneurs we had in here, because you're doing something that nobody that I've had in here has done what you've done. They're entrepreneurs, they're business owners of different kind of businesses. Yours is so different than the businesses I brought in. I want to start off with your mindset and what kind of mindset do you have to be able to push yourself on YouTube like that? Because you're the brand. You yourself are the brand of your business. So you put yourself really out there. I mean, people that can be insecure about things and all these different things, but you are the guy. You're the face, you're the guy, you're the brand. So what kind of mindset do you have for this?
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm an introvert, which doesn't come across like people don't believe me when I say it. But even today, like this morning, I woke up. We're recording this on a Thursday, and Thursday is my public facing day. And that's when I'm doing all of my interviews and podcasts and IG lives and everything. And I had a presentation I had to give this morning. And then I had 2 Instagram lives and like 3 or 4 podcasts and another call after this. It's just like nonstop all day. And I woke up, and I'm 15 years into the YouTube game, right? So it's not like I'm just getting started. I woke up and had this wave of anxiety come over me. Be like, I don't want to do this. Because I'm an introvert. I don't get off on this stuff. Like being around other people is stressful for me. And so I don't know that it ever goes away, or maybe I just haven't figured out, how to do it. But the key thing then is, okay, well, why don't I give up? Why do I keep going? Why do I have however many thousands of videos up on YouTube? It's the routine that I set up where at the end of the day, I mean, I go through a couple of things every morning. We could dive into that if you want, but it comes down to service at the end of the day. It's like, I want to help. Even though I'm introverted, I still want to help. I want to help, like in coming on your show. I hope that I can help contribute something to you, to your audience. If you can use this to go get other people for your show, awesome. If people watching, they're learning something and I hit one person, great. Like I still want to serve and want to help. And the limiting beliefs and excuses around being introverted is just like, it's not a good enough reason anymore. And so it's a fight. Some days are worse than others. Like this morning was a fight. It's easy for me to get up and just look at YouTube analytics and just be by myself on my computer and all. That's super fun, easy, nerd out mode. But to show up and be on shows and do presentations it takes a lot of energy to get going. Once I'm in it, though, it's easy to keep going, right? Like you're getting me after having done however many shows already today. So I'm already like, let's go, Jacob, press record. I'm ready.
I love that. I do want to touch on something. Go ahead on that part.
Staying in the energy, staying in the zone is so much easier than trying to start and stop all the time.
So I'm an MMA fighter. I trained in MMA and boxing most of my life. And every fighter says when they go into the ring, they're always nervous. So this is your fight. When you said you're still nervous when you come in and you're about to do the interview, but you're a fighter. I mean, that shows that to me, I look at you as a fighter because you're doing this all the time and you're putting your ass on the line. You're the one stepping into this. You're doing this. There's nobody's going to speak for you right now. You're coming in. So I like that about you. It already shows what kind of person you are just by you saying that. Like I get those nerves right before I walk in the ring. This is your ring. You know what I mean? And
yeah, like if you don't get nervous, you're probably doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Or you're not playing a big enough game.
I love that.
That's most people. Like most people wake up, maybe not this audience, but most people, America wakes up, drive to a job that they hate. They have no nervousness. They come home and like they hate their life. It's like if you're just photocopying the same day over and over and over again, there's zero nerves. You're probably doing the wrong thing, or you're just not thinking big enough.
Yeah.
Like if you start getting bored of your guests, you're like, oh, that was an easy get. It's like, okay, it's time to go up a division. Like, let's go, Jacob. What are we doing here?
And this one got me nervous, so I like the new guest I got on here. You know what I mean? So I do want to ask. I want to jump into YouTube a little bit. Can you share your journey with us a little bit about YouTube, about starting your channel and getting to the level that you got right now with the subscribers and the views? Would you be able to give us a little bit of the journey on that?
Yeah, I mean, I started YouTube first video was 2009. I opened the account in 2008 and then just didn't post like all of us. You know, you just get the name and you don't do anything with it. So posted in 2009. And I mean, it's a different world, Jacob, compared to what it used to be. Nobody had 1 million subscribers. Nobody was doing interviews. Like a 6-minute video was like way too long on YouTube back in the day. So I had no people's like, how did you know? I didn't know. I'm not Nostradamus. I had no idea this is what it was going to be. I just like video. Like I'm a visual guy. I like seeing things. The fact that I can see you is so much easier. If we were doing a phone interview, I'd be super focused because auditory is the worst. The fact that I can see you and your reaction just makes it easier for the way my brain works. So at the time, YouTube was the only video platform. And now everybody does video, but YouTube is still like the long, if you want long form video, it's still YouTube. You're not going to go watch a 2 hour long podcast on Instagram or Twitter or anything else. So I just got started and I had a lot of flaws. I made a lot of mistakes. I did 350 videos before I didn't absolutely hate my videos. Like I was too embarrassed to watch my videos back because I just felt like I sucked so much.
I feel like I'm the same way. I don't like watching a lot of videos.
But it's like it's a mistake too, right? Like
Yeah.
I should have. Like that's kind of stupid. It's like if you're gonna fight 350 times and never watch the tape back, like you're probably it's like not smart. Like I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's a good thing, but the only thing I had going for me was I just kept going. I just kept making. I just kept creating another one. And if 50 people watch my video, a lot of times people think, oh man, only 50 people watch this. It's like, man, I suck. How did only 50 people? I'd say, man, 50 people watch this. Like if you went to a library and gave a presentation in front of 50 people, you'd be nervous,
Yeah.
like here I am. 50 people saw this. That's epic.
Yeah.
And so I just always focused on who I was serving instead of who I wasn't. But it took me a long time, man. I mean, if you go to my homepage, it shows you scroll down a bit, it shows the year over year progression. It's like year 1 was 25 subscribers. Year 2 was like 100 or 200. It took me 5 years and I still only had a couple thousand subscribers. Like if you're fighting for 5 years and you're still losing every fight, it's like maybe you shouldn't be a fighter. Like you're kind of doing something wrong. But I just kept going. So luckily, I did everything wrong, but I just kept creating. I kept making. I never wanted to be famous. It's not in my DNA. I'm an introvert, man. I don't like the spotlight, but I wanted to serve. And so as I even just slowly grew, it just felt more and more that hey, this is helping people, so I'm going to keep going. Now I got smarter. I made better decisions as I got into my career and try to make the path. We do training now to try to make the path like easier for people because most people won't be as hard-headed as me or stubborn to just keep going for 5 years before you see any kind of results. But I believe on YouTube as a way to spread a message. It's like I think the world needs more hope and positivity and optimism, and YouTube is the place to get it out there.
Yeah, I love that you explain that because people will stop really quick. I mean, I haven't made any money on this at all, and I put a lot of money into this, and I have another business that I have, and I'm 9 years in the game on that one, and it took a long time for it to actually start generating cash flow. And if you expect it to just happen overnight, it's not. So you staying in it is that's most entrepreneurships. Most entrepreneurs, they have to stay in the game in order to start seeing more results, more money, and all that. So I love that you explain that because people, I mean, they really got to have the heart for what they're doing in order to start making money doing this. Even in this one.
You're a year in on this, you said?
We are less than a year, yeah.
How many subscribers do you have on your channel?
27, almost 28,000.
28,000?
Yeah.
Bro, I had 25 in year 1. 25, not 1,000. 25, period.
You know what I've been doing though? I've been bringing in business owners from Inland Empire. So I live in the Inland Empire, and it's like it's basically they're building my podcast up because all their people are watching it, and I just keep bringing more and more and more people in. It's
I don't know if you like I should look at my website to see how long it took me to get like you at 27,000 or whatever you're right now. You're ahead of me like 8 years in on my journey.
wow, dang.
And this is the mind game that people play. Is like, oh man, I'm only at freaking 27,000.
That's what I think. That's what I keep thinking.
And you look at like Rogan and Lex Friedman
Yeah.
or whoever your idols are. It's like, man, like I suck. Why do I suck so hard? Where like you just got to keep going. You'll figure it out. You're already way ahead of me, man. And people will often look at my graphic and use it as motivation and like like people will post an annual me, like them versus me, like, hey Carmichael, I'm beating you. Great. I love it. Like, use it for motivation. You're at 28,000 in 1 year. I had 25. That's it.
Well,
Like 5 years in, I'm at 1,000 or 2,000 or 7,000 or something, right? You're crushing it.
you know what caught my eye though on your YouTube, what made me like notice you who you were and got me deep into checking you out was you
Okay.
post this video of Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah.
About his story, about how he is in business. I had no clue that he was, and I'm really into like watching Mark Wahlberg. I like watching his story because what kind of businessman he is. I like that, but I didn't know Ryan Reynolds was that type of businessman with Deadpool and all that stuff. So when you posted that, I was like, man, the way this guy analyzes people is really dope to me because I feel like I analyze people like that. I analyze them of what kind of person they are, and the way you did that video of him made me think like the way I already like felt like I knew the way your mind worked when it comes to certain things. And it got me to be interested in who you are and look at your videos. And then I started following you on Instagram, and that's when I hit you up.
Got it. Yeah. I like seeing a different side of people. Like you look at Ryan Reynolds and you just think this guy is like this comedic actor and always telling jokes and he's funny, but you don't know the story. You don't know like the marketing brilliance of him. And so I like looking a little deeper to see what I can learn from them. Especially when the world sees somebody some way, I try to find, I don't know, maybe it's like it's on my own little challenge.
No,
Like,
it's
let's
so
see
dope.
what's under the surface here. The first person I ever profiled on my channel was Kanye West.
Okay. I haven't
Now,
watched
Kanye-
that one yet.
Kanye has had all sorts of issues over the years, and not that Kanye is perfect or like my hero or anything, but a friend of mine did this blog post a couple years after the whole Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you finish all that.
Yeah.
I said, Mark, man, like you could learn from Kanye. Like you're here trashing Kanye. You should learn from him. The guy went from producing beats to becoming a rapper to winning more Grammys than anybody ever at his age, to then becoming an entrepreneur and a billionaire. Like you can learn from this guy instead of just dumping all over him like everybody else. It doesn't mean that everything he does is right or I agree with, but you can learn from him, right?
Everybody's
So-
human, you know?
Well, it's like, so you look at John Legend, right? You know John Legend?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't know John Legend personally, but he comes off as like the nicest human. He just has this super humble vibe to him. So Kanye and John Legend are friends, which already seems weird. Like, how are those two friends? They're like polar opposites in terms of their public persona. John Legend's real name isn't John Legend.
No.
His real name is John Stevens.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that actually.
Well, this is part of the story, right?
Yeah.
And so John Stevens and Kanye West are sitting at a bar in Chicago at the start of John Stevens' music career. And he tells Kanye, he's like, man, I don't belong in this era. I'm like from the Rat Pack, like Sinatra era. This isn't the era for me. And Kanye says, you should call yourself the legend. And John Stevens says, I can't call myself a legend. Like, bro, I'm just getting started at my career. How am I going to call myself a legend? And Kanye helped convince him to change his stage name to John Legend.
Wow.
Now, even if you hate Kanye and his comments and fashion sense or whatever you want to throw at him, it's like, are you as good a friend to your friends as Kanye was to John Stevens? Right? And like, that's the kind of stuff that I want to learn from. And it's like somebody might have 99% of things that you hate. Cool. But like, there's that 1% that can make you a better you. And that's the way my weird brain works, that I love pulling out those little things from.
But that's good. Not a lot of people think the way you do. I mean, really, hardly anybody thinks that way. They're always looking for the bad in things. They're always trying to criticize and put people down. I mean, I feel like that, especially, I mean, you probably got a lot of that doing the YouTube, putting your face out there, yourself on the line, everything. I had a business and that was happening with me. And it happens with family, friends, everything. But what kept you motivated to move past that? What kept you pushing all those years to build your YouTube the way it is?
It's the comments, man. It's the community. It's like people saying how much it made an impact to them. Like you saying that you love the Ryan Reynolds video makes me want to go make another kind of similar video. Like that video underperformed on my channel. The Ryan Reynolds video is not one of the more popular videos on my channel. It does not
Dang, I
have millions
love
of
that
views.
video, dude. Like
Right.
I think
So
that's
like
one of
that's
the
the
best
kind of
videos I've
feedback,
seen.
like personal feedback like that. I mean, remember there's one woman who, like, we tend to feel like the work we do doesn't matter, right? It's like, oh, that video only got X number of views. I guess it doesn't matter. But then here you are telling me how much of an impact it had on you, and now we're here. There was one woman who, she told me the story about herself that she had cancer, and she was fighting cancer, and she's in the hospital. And every day she would play on her iPad a video from my channel, and that would help her get through some of the pain and just believe in herself to like go another day, go another day. And then there was one day where it's like there was too much, the pain was too much, and she couldn't continue. And she's like, her mom was there. It's like, I don't want to keep going. And her mom was like, where's the iPad? Who's that guy that you look at their videos? We're gonna load one of those videos and watch it together right now, right? And she did, and like made her, and like I don't know that story until she tells me like 4 or 5 years later.
Yeah.
And like, what if I quit in that time? And I'm just doing entrepreneur stuff. Like a lot of the people who might be watching this have a much deeper, more impactful content than just talking about business and motivation and belief. But those are the things that keep me going. It's like the work that I do matters. And it may not matter to the world, but it matters to some people. And they rely on me creating consistently to show up because I'm a part of their routine. And I take that as a responsibility. And so every time, like this morning, I woke up feeling anxious about the day ahead and all of these interviews and things that I had to do. And the thing that gets me going is, okay, but like I'm here to serve. Like I might tell Jacob a story that impacts somebody. And so I don't want to sit at home and not do the interview because I'm nervous. And so I'm going to do it. So anytime you can go to service, like if you can feel the service in the work that you're doing, you'll find the courage and strength to keep going, even when it's like not working.
Yeah.
And that's where I'll always look at, again, who I am serve instead of who I'm not. Because the who I'm not game never ends. Like we're closing in on 4 million subscribers. Awesome. Why is it not 5 or 10 or 20 or 30, right? Like, why are we not there? It's easy to look at that. But how about look at, man, 4 million people? It's like the size of my city almost here in Toronto. That's one of the biggest cities in North America. People who subscribe to my channel. That's having a huge impact. 20,000 people or 27,000 people subscribe to your channel, right?
Yeah,
Jacob,
see, I'm
that's
always
awesome.
thinking, I appreciate, I love that you're saying that because I'm always thinking, I want more on subscribers.
Well,
I
both.
want to, yeah.
Always both. Of course. Me too, dude. Me too. I'm
Yeah.
ambitious and hungry as hell and want to grow and change the world, of course. But that's a given. The hunger is a given for guys like us, right? For a lot of people, they don't have the hunger. The hunger is a given. But that's what also causes people to quit and give up because they're not getting there fast enough, and so they don't commit to the consistency.
Yeah.
Where every now and then, when you're feeling, anxious or low or like it's not working, to look back on the comments, look back on the growth, and realize, hey, man, like I may not be at 2 million where I thought I'd be or want to be, but 27,000 people, that's a lot of people, and some of the comments are life changing. Like I'm doing important work. I got to get better. It's not being lazy. It's not slacking off. It doesn't mean that you're the king. You still got lots of things to fix and get better at. You're like nowhere close to where you need to be, Jacob, to get to the next level. Cool. But also, man, let's clap up. Let's give some roses for how far you've come.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And that video, that one video, just the fact that you explained to me like, hey, that's not even one of my highest videos, and it meant something to somebody. No, like that video is changing the game for what I'm doing on this podcast. I have watched that video so many times for certain specific areas that you put in there about how Ryan Reynolds, when he was doing the Deadpool movie and they wouldn't give him no money to do the movie, and he used YouTube to explode that movie for commercials and all that stuff. Dude, that I was like, whoa. And it like sparked something in my mind of what I need to do for this podcast, that I want to do it. I'm actually going to change the way I do certain things because of your video, dude. Like legit, like I'm actually going to start a whole new thing that I'm doing for my podcast because of your video. And I
mean, I
watched
love
it so many times because of that. And I was like, okay, let me see how he explains this again. And I kept running down what you put down there, and I was like, wow, this is amazing video, man. So yeah,
Cool, man.
it
Well, that
had a
means a
big
lot.
impact. Yeah,
That means a lot. And listen, this is why I also tell people, if there's a career that you follow, let them know that your work means something, right? Like I'm spoiled at the point now where like every day there's tons of great comments, and I obviously appreciate what you're saying, Jacob, too. But we're spoiled in that like every day there's way more comments than we can even keep up with or see of how much the stuff
Yeah.
is helping them. That's awesome. But if you're following somebody who's a much smaller creator who you like and you really mess with, and you've never left a comment, like let them know, because
Yeah.
that comment, they might be on the verge of quitting their channel, and your comment lets them go an extra month because you said, and not just like, hey, good video, but even what you just told me of how much, like be specific of how much it's helping you and you're learning and growing from it. Because I guarantee you, everybody's following somebody on Instagram or YouTube or whatever platform you mess with that doesn't have 1 million followers,
Yeah.
and they may be on the verge of not posting again. So your one comment could make a difference. And so like that would be a challenge or action items. Like, great, keep talking on the big channels, but like spend an extra little time today just giving some love to a small creator, because it'll make a huge difference.
And I want to ask you to, I mean, that's for sure. I feel like I'm going to have to do that now, because I don't think I think I left a comment on that video for you, but there's other videos I could have watched and left comments on, because that's a good idea. I'm mostly watching, I'm writing down the parts that I want to remember in from that video. I mean, even there's a video when I first started my business, Patrick Bet David, a video of him doing a video of showing him going to door knocking, and he's putting his head on a steering wheel, explaining how hard business was, and he wanted to quit every day and all that. That video kept me going for my business, and I wouldn't even have this business if I probably didn't see that video. And I was watching it almost every day. So there's videos out there that do that for you, and that was another video for me too.
Yeah. And listen, especially the small creators, right? Like if you leave a comment on that video, Patrick's probably not seeing it.
Yeah.
If you leave a comment on my video, like I may see it, but I'm probably not seeing it. Right. But some small creator who you are following, who like post even some weird random like MMA content or some weird thing that you're into, or somebody who helped you build your studio, like you're looking at lighting and you watch this random video and you're not in there anymore, but you like somebody really helped you, or you have to fix your, how to change a light bulb or something, and you watch some video like those. If it's some from small creator that really helped you, like just let them know, because that stuff really, like, how important comments are at the beginning.
It fuels you.
But then we forget to do it for people, right?
Yeah.
So it's great for any channel. It's always good to show love. It's good karma, but especially the smaller channels that you mess with, just let them know how much it means to you. There's one really small YouTube creator who made this video on YouTube thumbnails. That just happened to cross my path, and she does not have a lot of subscribers. And then she didn't post. Like, so I messaged her and said, "Hey, I love the video. Congrats." I posted on, I DM'd her on Instagram. And then she didn't post for like 2 months. I'm like, oh man, I hope she didn't quit.
Uh-huh.
And she just came into my mind when I was walking outside. And so I sent her another message, say, "Hey, like just checking in. Hope you're okay. Looking forward to more content when you get back up." And she wrote back to say that she had just had this concussion and all of these issues, but like, thank you for the message, and she's looking forward to getting going. It's like, not that my DM was everything, but like all those little things make a difference.
Yeah.
And I just remember back to like my first year. My first year, I had 3 comments. My first year of my videos being up, 3 comments the whole year. And one was my mom, and one was my sister. And the third was some random guy. So in a full year of this video being up, I had 1 comment that wasn't from my mom or my sister. And it meant so much. And it wasn't the most insightful comment. It's like, well done or something. It's like, somebody liked my video. Is great. The random person.
Yeah.
It means so much at the beginning to have it. And so, just call to action. You want to support the big creators, obviously, but the smaller creators especially. It makes a huge difference. Like, you're taking 8 seconds out of your day to leave a comment might be the difference between them quitting or keep going for another month.
Yeah, I believe that. I really do. And I think that I need to start doing that as well. I do want to ask you, because you're a very humble person. Like talking to you right now, and I've talked to a lot of people have hit me back, other creators, other streamers, and things like that. And you know how this world is with that. There's a lot of egos and they want a lot of money to come on, all these different things, right? And you're not like these guys. And I like that. It seems like you're real. And these guys that talk about how so real they are, they're the fakest people I've been listening to. I'm like, these guys that everybody's probably wanting to be like, they are the fakest people that I have spoken to. I'm like, dude, this guy is nothing like he's portraying himself to be. He's completely different, egotistic, all this stuff. You're real. And so all these guys that are walking around saying they're real, I feel like you're the realest one that I've talked to out of any of these guys. How do you keep that? I mean, that humbleness about yourself, knowing, you're big you're a heavy hitter in the game, and you're still coming around here being humble. Like what I feel like have you been through something in life where it's like, hey, I feel like I'm humble for a reason. I got beaten down so much in business where I seen so much evil in business that I did not want to be like them at all. It like turned me off. I might have even been on the verge of becoming something like them until I seen it. And I was like, I do not want to be nothing like them. I'm just wondering, but where does your humbleness come from? Your caring and wanting to help people. Where does that come from?
Well, thank you for saying that, Jacob. I think in terms of caring and wanting to help people, that's just everybody's caring. Humans are caring. They may not, they may not express care, but I think most people are just in a lot of pain. It's like hurt people, right? So most people are walking around a lot of pain, and so they're not expressing care, but caring and wanting to help people, I think that's baked into being a human being. Apart from the 0.0001% of people who've got like a genetic something happening where they like killing people, I think we're all caring and we want to help. Both of us, if we've been rushed or stressed or overwhelmed, we didn't show up as the most caring, serving people, right? So most people are just stressed out, and so I default to that. Like somebody's leaving I don't believe in haters. If somebody's leaving a negative comment, the highlight of their day is coming to Jacob's channel, leaving some hate comment. It's like that person is in a lot of pain, right? It doesn't mean what they did was right, but it removes the sting from the words. It's like, okay, this person is in a lot of pain, and so they're struggling right now. So I think that's just baked into being a human. In terms of the humbleness, I'm Canadian. That's my parents. If anything, I need to work on the opposite. Like, why learn from Kanye? Because I need more ego, not unhealthy ego, but I need more bravado. I should be doing bigger things. The humbleness becomes a liability. This is easy. It's I'm not good enough. I'm not that big a deal. I haven't done anything serious, which then prevents like the next big thing. And so what I'm working on is the opposite, is the striving for greatness and belief that it's even possible. Kanye had this great line where he's doing this at a concert where he's saying, everybody tells you to be humble, be humble, be humble. Who's telling you to be great, be amazing, be bold, right? And he's like yelling it out in the concert. And so like, I need more of that. I feel the humbleness is easy to the point where if you had asked me 10 years ago to be on your show, I'd be like, me? You don't want me on your show. I have nothing to contribute, Jacob. I can't do this. Where the humbleness would be so overwhelming that it would be, just wouldn't take any action. And so I need to work on the opposite. I need to have a little bit more bravado, more ego, more belief. This thing is like, whatever you're going to work on, you're never going to go off the deep end. It's like, I'm never going to, of all my faults, with which I have many, being an egomaniac is like not going to be the thing that I'm going to have to worry about, right? It's like people who say like, I need to go to the gym, but I don't want to work out too much because I don't want to get too muscular. Like you know how much you have to work out to get muscular? Like you're not going to get too muscular. So I don't know. That's a long way of maybe answering the question, but yeah, I think if there's something like why gravitate to a Kanye West or an Elon Musk or any of these guys, it's like Steve Jobs, it's like I can't imagine myself thinking that big. Like I want to put a dent in the universe thinking that big, but I want to. And so there's something about them that I want to continue to inject into myself because otherwise I would just be the guy who had too much anxiety and just stays in bed and doesn't come on any show like I could have this morning.
I don't know. I think you're Evan Carmichael. I don't think you need to be like them. I've been. I like the way you are actually as a person even right now. So, have you ever studied MMA? Had you have any people that you know that does MMA? Anybody you know?
I'm not deep into the world, but I mean I agree with you. The goal is not to be Kanye West. The goal is to be the best Evan Carmichael.
Yeah. Well, I like the humble. I mean about the humbleness is, when I walk into an MMA gym, the baddest dudes, the dudes that can destroy, like really destroy, they're the most humblest guys. They'll walk up just like how you're real polite and nice and everything when you come across, like even me right now. Hey, how you doing, man? Hey, good to see you again. And it's like, whoa, like the way they pay attention, knowing they can break you in half. Those guys are a different breed. And I think I like that. I like how you're coming across. Like, yeah, I think ego. I mean, at certain points. I mean, I don't know about ego, but like say greatness, strength, all that stuff. Yes, I feel like that's great to have. But I feel like your humbleness is even better because you see the baddest dudes when they're humble like that. To me it makes them more powerful. You know what I mean?
I mean, thank you. I agree. And it's less a outward facing. It's less like I don't. What I'm talking about isn't I need to get on stage and tell everybody how great I am. Like I have no interest to get on your show and just out talk you and just tell you all my accolades and how I'm way better than everybody. And like that to me is not what I'm after. It's the inner game of the belief that I can do something just so much bigger. Like an example, we've got 44 people on my team right now. And they do all sorts of different things for my company. And I remember making a video talking about I've got 44 people on my team. I'm like, that's pretty crazy. But that's not that big a company. Like 44 people is nothing. I mean, it's way bigger than what I used to have when I was making $300 a month and, sharing French fries with my co-founders because that's all we could afford to eat kind of thing. Right. But for what I could do and what I'm capable of and where I want to go, 44-person company is tiny. Like, what does 500 people look like? What does 50,000 people look like?
Yeah.
And it's like my brain can't even go there. I can't even imagine what 500 people will look like in my company, let alone 5,000 or 50,000. I have no idea. It doesn't feel like it's possible. And so that's what I'm always working on. The jump from 4 people to 44 people, it was crazy to Evan who only had 4 people. So now the jump to 500 people, it just doesn't even feel possible. And that's an inner game that I'm talking about of having more of the Steve Jobs or Kanye or whoever, just a little piece, not all of them, just that little piece. Like Steve Jobs wasn't a great father by all accounts. I want to be a father like my father was a father, but my father was not a visionary. I want to be a visionary like Steve Jobs. Just like pulling different pieces from different people to help you be the best you. And so that's a constant, never-ending inner game. It's like, how do we continue to develop our howls and stop being the boss in our own head?
Yeah, and I love that. You a lot of the stuff that you're saying, I feel like you think a lot like me because I'm a father, and I'm trying to be the best dad I can be. And before I'm thinking, I might have to be traveling. I have to do all this. I have to do that. I have to make sure. But now I'm thinking, if I have to travel, I'm going to make sure I do it during summer when my kids can go with me. I want to have them there. I want to be a good father to them. No matter what I'm doing, I need to be in their life. And the way and how you're explaining things, I feel like you're saying I'm pulling things from different people. And you got to, because you got to find your own niche. And I like that because, our parents, in a sense, like, the parents that when I was growing up in the '90s and all that, they're a different breed. You know, they're not always there. They're taught to work hard and be at work even when you're sick and all that stuff. And you don't, and kids didn't get to see their parents a lot. I don't want to be that kind of father. I want to be the father that's there, listening to their kids and hearing their problems and trying to help them through life. So, I mean, I when you're saying pull things from different people and all that, that's all I keep thinking is, because I haven't got to see it that route, you know, being a really great entrepreneur and making a lot of money and at the same time being there for your kids. Like, how do you balance that, right? You pull things from different people. I feel like that's what you're doing. And I like that you're saying that. It's different.
Yeah, like every person I profiled on my channel, I've learned something from. So Ryan Reynolds, I learned something from. I don't want to be a comedic actor. You know, like I'm not funny. I deeply admire how he can, you know, throw content together quickly and all the success he's had in a completely different field. But I can admire him for what he's done and how he thinks. And that's why that video is much more like the business side, the entrepreneurial mind. That's what I respect a lot more from a Ryan Reynolds than his comedic side of things, even though he's like super funny and a great actor and all that stuff, just because it's more aligned with what I want to be better at. I don't care about being an actor. So it's like those models are everywhere around you. And the challenge is most people spend time with people who keep them where they are or bring them down. Like the people who listen to this show are probably the most optimistic, positive, ambitious people that they know. Like you're the one pouring into all the people around you, which is great. Like keep doing that. But who's pouring into you? Who's telling you you could do more in a loving way? Not like you should go be a doctor or something, but who's telling you in a loving way? Like, Jacob, man, like, dude, you're kind of slacking. Like WTF, man, let's go. Like pick up the pace.
This is why I feel like when we're here even discussing things, this is where the pack comes in. Maybe we don't see each other all the time. Maybe we interview each other, go back and forth, whatever the case is. But like when I speak to people like you, other entrepreneurs, that gives me fuel. You know, it really gives me fuel to keep rolling. But I do want to jump in because I know we want to talk about YouTube. I feel like we're getting so much into different things, which I still love, man. But YouTube, okay, I had so many different questions, but I feel like I want to change it up. If I like,
let's get. I know we're like super
we're
over.
almost,
I got to pop soon, so like
okay.
Whatever. But let's do it. Let's hit one more. Whatever your most important kind of last question is. Let's hit it.
So, what would you suggest for our podcast? How to build ourselves on YouTube to be stronger? I mean, I know you said we have a lot of subs for right now, but more subs, more to monetize our episodes, each episode. What would you suggest to get more monetized, to how we can really make money on YouTube?
Is it all interviews?
It's all interviews.
And is it all live? Or are you doing
all live? Everything's been live except for like the first 8 episodes. Everything's been live.
Cool. I would stop doing live immediately. Live sucks on YouTube. On the replay, it's great for live. So I don't know how many people are watching live right now. So it's great for an immediate audience, but most live videos are dead afterwards. So like this video in 3 months is probably dead, or like in 2 weeks is probably dead. So never do live. Edit the video. The beginning of every episode, if you do live and you don't edit it, I don't know how we started this episode, but it's not great. And so if they don't know you, like you're making content for people who don't know you. If people already know you, love you, great, they'll watch anything. They'll watch you doing whatever. But somebody who you're trying to get a new audience, they don't know who you are, it's your first time. They wouldn't sit through the first part of this video.
Yeah.
It's too boring. So what is the highlight moment from this video? And you clip it and you put it at the beginning. Or you have a powerful intro that you're going to lead with of what people can expect in this video. The first minute really, really matters. So look at your audience retention for every video and see where are people at 1 minute.
Okay.
The gold standard is 70%. If you hit 70% and you're doing long videos, you're going to crush. You're probably not at 75%. You're probably at like 40-something%. So, okay. but the interview is good, and you asked a lot of great questions, and you've asked me questions people haven't asked me. I've told stories that I haven't told, right? So that's already, I've been on a lot of shows. So that already speaks to your curiosity and your vibe and the way that you process, which is unique and different. You're not just asking me, what would you tell your 18-year-old self? And like all the usual stuff that people But that's what most people ask, whether
Oh,
they're
really?
nervous or they're just being lazy or whatever. Like that's how most people approach it. You haven't asked me any of those typical questions. Um, so looking at your retention, so you take a video, you edit it, and then put it up on live as a video. I would never ask people to introduce themselves.
Okay.
You asked me to introduce myself. I flipped it and we started talking about Doug Rackman or whatever, or like why you were afraid to have me on or something, or why you were nervous.
Uh-huh.
Because if you ask me to introduce myself, what happens? I'm going to give you my scripted answer of how I introduce myself, which is going to be the same introduction I've given on all sorts of other podcasts. Now it's boring. Now you got the same intro, and the intro is the thing that matters the most.
Okay.
Where the intro should be, tell me what you like about me. Like, tell me why I'm here.
Okay.
And I don't care if you read never read my bio. That's the other worst thing. Like you read the person's bio, now it's super boring. The audience is checked out. As a guest, I'm checked out because I don't want to hear my bio. Okay, I got another minute. I'm going to wait here for Jacob to finish reading my thing, right? Just tell me why I'm here. Tell me, like if you said, I don't care if you mention subscribers or awards I've won or whatever is on, I don't even know what's in my bio. If you said, I've got Evan, I love him because blank. And honestly, I didn't even know the guy before 2 weeks ago, but he made this epic video on Ryan Reynolds that completely changed how I do my business. And I invited him on and he's here. And this is the first interview I've been nervous for 3 months or whatever. Like, just speak me from your heart.
Yeah. I like that.
And I'm not going to be offended if you tell me something, you don't read my bio. And now I'm way more engaged too. It's like, oh man, like the Ryan Reynolds video. Okay, I see you, Jacob. Okay. And we're starting a conversation. Right. So those are a couple of the hacks, obviously then title, thumbnail and testing that. But you're almost now, honestly, like this is a compliment and a slap to the face. It's like you're too good to not be doing these things.
I appreciate that.
You got a lot of skill with the way you think and ask questions, but everything else is sloppy.
Okay.
So you're getting, but you're still getting, dude, you're way ahead of me, right? Like 27,000 subs versus my 25. But you fix these things. You don't have to. The good news is that stuff is easy to fix. Changing the packaging, not going live, editing the video, you having a better intro with the bio, like that's all easy to fix. The hard thing to fix is you. Like if you ask crappy questions, I'd be like, I don't know, man. Just like get better.
Well,
that's a lot harder
that.
thing to fix. So like you're too good and skilled to now be sloppy and everything else. So now it's time to if you want to take this to 100,000, a million, like fix all of that stuff around it.
Okay. And I appreciate that, man, because I'm already thinking of how to do it as you're talking. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you coming on. You killed it, man. I know we went over our time, so I know, but I appreciate that. But I would love to have you on again, too.
What episode number is this?
This is like 110.
110? And how many do you do a year?
We do 2 every week. 2 episodes every Tuesday.
Okay, episode 250.
250?
Episode 250.
I can have you back on 250?
We're back.
Oh, let's do
250.
it. All right.
When you're getting close, message my assistant.
Okay.
But I want to be 250, not 249 or 251. We're going to do 250 together.
Okay. Are we doing a Zoom again, or are you coming on live?
What do you mean? What's live?
No,
in person?
In person. I would like to do it. Even if I got to fly out to you.
I don't know where you're.
I'll go to Toronto. I'm down for that, man.
Okay. Well, that's a little harder to organize, but
if not, for sure, 250. No matter what, Zoom, and then you know what I mean. And I'm going to do it a lot better.
Come earlier and then release it as 250.
Okay, yeah, we could do that too. Let's do that.
Okay, where's home for you?
I'm in LA. Basically, we're like 40 minutes from LA.
Okay.
So, yeah. But I appreciate you coming on. I'll go ahead and close out.
I want to see some changes, man.
Oh, I
want to see this in 250.
The next time I have you on, you're going to see changes. So,
okay. Good. I'm going to walk out otherwise. Like, Jacob, no.
I'll make sure I'm good. I'll make sure I'm on point. I have a lot of practicing to do for that time, so I'm good. But we had Evan Carmichael on. I appreciate you coming on. He's a killer. I'm going to watch some more of your videos, too, because they are dope, dude. But
thank you, brother.
How's over Baz? Can you say bye to our audience? And our slogan is Shed the Sheep. Can you say Shed the Sheep?
Shed the Sheep?
Yeah. Like take
Shed
off
the
the
sheep.
sheep. Yeah.
With
Be
Jacob.
a howler.
Let's go.
Appreciate it. How's over
See you, man.
Baz?
Much love.
Take it easy. Have a good one. How's over Baz? I'm Jacob Casas. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got some good feedback. I actually like the feedback I got back on that. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Shed the sheep. How's over Baz? I'm out.